Hey guys, how are you? It's Friday here. I'm on the way to pick up my kids. It's sunny. It's a good day. I'm having a date with my girlfriend tonight. We're going out for dinner and then we're going to see a play in the theater because we're European. She's from Czech Republic and I'm Russian. So that's where, we like to class it up with all the 6-year-olds. And so it's going to be a good day. I had a workout, I had a nice shower, and I wanted to tell you, I need to tell you about this solution for your core that's better than a tennis ball. Remember my episode about a tennis ball? Well, obviously it was a temporary solution. Well, hopefully it's obvious. But that was a temporary solution to release the muscles from being overworked while I was skiing because my core was not engaging. That was the previous episode. It was called a tennis ball. But today I need to share with you this amazing person I found on YouTube, of course. Her name is kind of hard to pronounce, but her handle on YouTube is Mommy Mango, and she is amazing. If you're a woman and if you've had kids, you need to go check her out and do some of her exercises because no matter where you are on the scale with your core, this will be super helpful to you. So she deals primarily with women who have diastasis recti, which is basically muscles, core muscles that have been disengaged, core muscles, and also muscles that have been kind of separated and stretched due to pregnancy. And so there can be various stages of that, right? There could be like a big hole basically in the middle of your stomach between your muscles where you can put your hand in, like in between your muscles. Or you can have a smaller one where you can fit a finger, kind of like, or you could be like me, and I don't have that, but my core, which is like really the lowest layer of the muscles underneath your abs, that has been not engaging for years because, well, according to her, and kind of makes sense, because of all the babies I've had. I had the two pregnancies, then I had a twin pregnancy, and she says it's more common with twin pregnancies to have your core disengaged because, I mean, the tummy is bigger. So basically, when you are pregnant, all those core muscles and stomach muscles and abs, they all have to stretch out, right? It's kind of like your support belt. And so if they're stretched out for a long time, which for me was about almost 5 years, like 3 pregnancies in a row within 5 years. And so then I guess they didn't engage back, or maybe they did. And anyway, I don't know what happened exactly, but I do know that I was suffering from lower back pain, and especially if I overworked it. So if I went skiing or I went biking or yeah, I don't remember anything else, but basically I would just be laid out. My back was hurting and I had to go see chiro, and he would massage the muscles because they were so tired he'd have to release them with needles, and I kept doing that over and over. Oh yeah, tennis. If I played too much tennis, it would just, I was done. So after a few years of troubleshooting that and just going back and forth to chiro, and then I started doing my own chiro with a tennis ball, which was amazing because I didn't have to go see him. And I knew, I mean, they all educated me on the fact that I have to strengthen my core. And here where this lady is amazing. Mango, Mommy Mango. The way she connects to, explains the connection between you and the core, deep core, the muscles, really clicked for me, because when I went to see my chiropractor, the way he explained it did not click for me. It did not have the same effect on me, on my understanding, and I couldn't connect my brain to the muscle as well. Like I didn't know if I was doing it right, if I was engaging it or not engaging it, and so it didn't really help me, right? So I saw another chiropractor woman, a woman now at this point, but she's never had children. So she has never had the chance to kind of disconnect with her core muscles. So again, her the way she talked about core muscles wasn't as helpful to me as a person who's had babies, because once you lose connection between your brain and that muscle, and then you have to rebuild it, it's very it is very specific words that can help you create that connection again. And this is where Mommy Mango, I wish I could remember her name. Uh, it's hard. It's a hard word for me to remember. She is amazing at really helping you in that whole area, because she has done so much work. She's helped so many people, and she's such a pro in describing what you should be feeling. And also, she has these great exercises that are minimal, and that she does them with you on the video to really help you connect. And so that has made a big difference for me, that she does the exercises with me. And one of the exercises, visually, if you look at it, you don't even see anything happening, but what you actually are doing is you're engaging your core with your brain, and you're like, it's called a stomach vacuum. And so you're kind of like squeezing your whole core in like a corset. And so when you look at it from the outside, you don't see a person exercising, but that's like the whole exercise. And so her doing that with me has been super helpful. And I needed to share this with you because after just doing her exercises for a week or so, I went on the ski trip with the girls, and my lower back did not hurt. It was freaking amazing. I skied for 5 hours a day, and I felt great. And I did one day on the trip. I did the exercises, which only takes under 10 minutes, some 5 minutes, really short amount of time. But really, again, it's building that connection between the brain and the core. And also, once you build the connection, now you have to kind of strengthen the muscle, right? But it sounds super monotonous and super boring and super stupid, because it's like this tiny exercise that you have to do in the beginning to strengthen it, that you don't want to do. But thanks to her help, it is so much more manageable and doable. And because she's educating you on what's going on, you really feel like, okay, I'm not alone. There's all these other women out there with the same problem. And so that helps you feel like, okay, this is worthwhile. I can fix this. And no joke, it worked quicker than I imagined. And so I'm a lot more motivated to keep doing these exercises, because my lower back does not hurt. And so now that I've done enough of them, I know the difference between the feeling when I overdo it and my core is not engaging as much, and the feeling when I am engaging the core and it's working. So I needed to share this with you guys, because she was so helpful to me. I even signed up to her program where you have access to her full total body workouts again, and she's keeping in mind the core, and she's adjusting it to your level. There's so many different options for workout. So I highly suggest you check her out. I'm sure she's on Instagram, YouTube, Mommy Mango. She's wonderful. She also has 4 kids like I do. And that's why she actually started sharing this with people, because she had that problem after having her babies. And she says she lost all the baby weight, but what happened was her stomach was still sticking out like she was pregnant. And so she realized at that point that that was not the weight that was like that was sticking out. It was just um, the lack of muscle strength. And then she also shares that at one point where she did a movement with her body where her back went out, she could not take care of her babies, and she could not take care of herself, because her back was so hurt because of the lack of strength of the core. She had to have people come in and help her take care of her babies, and she needed care for herself. And so at that point, she realized that this is far beyond the aesthetics of the body, of the stomach, and it really is affecting her everyday life. So it's really like a practical utility. Like you cannot go around with weak core. It's gonna catch up with you, and you're not gonna be able to do anything. And actually, the same thing happened to me a few times where we'd go for a family bike ride and I'd come back and I would be on the couch with such bad back pain that was poisoning my whole day. Like I was miserable. I did not know what to do. I was in such pain and devastated. I was just so devastated. I was depressed. I was like, this is so sad. That was, I can't remember when that was, a couple of years ago. And then again, after skiing, I just felt like so out of shape and so defeated. Like, how am I not keeping up? My back would just seize up. And so this really changed my life so much. And I'm so glad that this Mommy Mango has explained it in a way that has made a difference for me, because I've heard people try to explain the same thing to me that didn't land, like they were not using the right language because I don't think they could relate to what a mom has gone through, and they could not relate to having that problem because this one person was a man and the other person was a woman, young woman who hasn't had kids yet. So it really helps to have someone guide you through something that they've personally experienced. And she still to this day does these exercises to keep her core strength, to take care of her babies and herself. So check her out, Mommy Mango. I'm thinking of maybe inviting her over on a podcast, but I had to share this with you before even inviting her, because if you have this problem, if you have any back pain, if you have back pain when you get out of the car, so this is another sign. She says, if you have, when you get out of the car or stand up from the couch and you have kind of sudden pain and then the pain disappears in your back, then this is also a sign of delayed core engagement. So your core is not engaging until a bit later. And so because it's not connected to this movement for some reason. So she describes that she has lots of different lives and educational sessions where they're super helpful. Highly, highly recommend. So better than a tennis ball, you guys. Better than a tennis ball, of course. So another thing that's useful for this is Pilates or yoga. But again, if you're not connecting, this is the other thing. This is the thing that really made me look for help and find her, is I've been going to these workout classes for a year and doing all the things that they do in them, and the core and the strength and the stretching and the strengthening, but my back pain was not going away, and in some cases it just got worse. And so I really had to stop and evaluate. I thought, okay, I've done this for a year, let's stop and reevaluate. Should I keep going? Should I look for something else? Something's not working, and these workouts are not helping me. And she says that so many people suffer from the same situation where they work out and do all these exercises and are doing so much work, but their back pain gets worse. Why is that? Because, again, same problem happens as either like our core is not connected to our brain, so we're not engaging it. That's not problem number one. Now, problem number two is it's not strong enough. So even if we are engaging it, it's not strong enough to carry through the whole exercise. So what happens is the back muscles and the butt muscles, and they overcompensate for the lack of strength in the core, and then they get really tired. So the reason why we are not successful in regular workouts is because of this, because of the lack of the connection to the core and the strength. So I'm so happy I troubleshooted that in my life, and now I kind of just rebuild. A new year has passed, 1 year has passed, I've tried it. And every time I start something new, I just say, you know what, I'm just going to try it. I'm going to try it for a month, and then I reevaluate. And if it worked for a month and I enjoy it, I'm like, okay, we'll keep going. And if it doesn't, I keep looking. So try it out. I hope this helps. I love and I really appreciate people who put in all this work and sharing this information because it really helps me. And so that's why I'm sharing this with you because it really helped me and I hope it helps you so much. All right. Have a great day and I'm going to have a great weekend and a Friday or whenever you're listening to this. And I'm going to go pick up my kids. Love you. Bye.